Let's go now to the former Shadow Communications Minister, former ABC reporter too, Liberal Senator Sarah Henderson, joining us from the Sydney CBD. Good to talk to you again, Sarah. You're going to push for a Senate inquiry into this stuff. You've seen the ABC's responses now. Are you convinced at all by their defence?
Well, Chris, good afternoon, and I'm not convinced, and I think there was a very deliberate decision to edit out a key part of President Trump's speech to make it look like he was encouraging civil unrest at the very least, and I do think there are serious questions to answer. And that is very much because the ABC Act requires that news and current affairs and information must be disseminated in a way that is impartial and accurate. And I think on too many occasions, Chris, the ABC has failed the impartiality test, and that's why I believe the time has come for a Senate inquiry.
In the interim, surely the ABC Ombudsman should look at this. I mean, she's written back to me and said that because it's more than 3 months old, she doesn't really have to investigate it, but she's decided not to anyway. I mean, if this is an independent investigator, what case before us now of ABC indolence or delinquency could be more important for her to investigate?
Well, Chris, I have raised concerns about the ABC Act. I don't believe it's fit for purpose. I think the entire Act needs to be rewritten, and I have called for that. And certainly, if we get the opportunity in government, that will be, from my perspective, a very strong focus. But I just don't think this is good enough for the Ombudsman to say there's nothing to see here. And it builds the case, Chris, for perhaps the fact that we need a truly independent ombudsman rather than someone who is employed by the ABC with very rigid rules. So all that does, I think, is encourage me to look at the way the ombudsman is currently structured because we need a fully accountable ombudsman and complaints process. And if there's a 3-month limit, that is just simply not good enough.
Yeah, that is certainly worth looking at. We'll keep our eye on that debate. I want to bring you to Liberal politics in your home state now. The state Liberals have been a shambles there for a long while, but leadership upheaval again today, and they've ended up with a new opposition leader, Jess Wilson. She's only 35. Here she is.
At the next election, 12 months from now, Victorians have a clear choice. A choice between a tired, out-of-touch Labor government or a new generation Liberal team.
OK, Jess Wilson, trained as a lawyer, worked a little in corporate law, worked as a political staffer to Josh Frydenberg and others, married with one child. Is she too green to be taking on the leadership at 35 years of age?
Chris, look, I firstly just want to address the premise of your question. I don't accept that there was a shambles. In fact, a poll which came out this morning showed that we were ahead in the polls, that I think Brad Batten has done a very solid job as the leader of the opposition. But, of course, there has been the change, and I really do congratulate Jess. She's very competent, she's very smart, she's a great communicator, and I really do think that she will take the fight up to this terrible Labor government. I mean, they are sending Victoria broke. There is a crime crisis. Too many people can't find an affordable place to live, a home to buy, a place to rent. And so I know that Jess and the entire team, and Sam Groth, of course, as the deputy, will really take the fight up to Labor. We cannot afford to lose. That is the bottom line. Things are so terrible in Victoria, Chris. There was a survey just a few days ago which shows that 1 out of 3 businesses are either contemplating closure or are likely to close because of the horrendous economic conditions in the state. So I say all power to Jess and the team, and we'll all be working very, very hard to win in November next year.
I've got to say, we must have different definitions of a shambles, though, because there have been 3 opposition leaders there now inside 12 months, one of them taken out effectively by legal action from someone in his own party. So let's hope the shambles is behind them. Just on the policy sense, though, obviously you've gone to net zero as the federal coalition. The state Liberals in New South Wales say they're going to stick by net zero. What about the Victorians, and how are you going to deal with this conflict between federal net zero policies and state versions?
Well, Chris, firstly, we've dumped net zero because this was an environmental and economic disaster for our country. We know these policies of Labor's are a fantasy. They're driving up power prices. Electricity is up 39%. It is killing our country. It is killing the economy. And of course, it's underpinned by at least 4 separate carbon taxes embedded into the economy. And of course, if we did ever get to net zero, that would mean a $300 a tonne carbon tax, 13 times more than Julia Gillard's carbon tax. So this is truly a shambles, Labor's energy policy. And so now it is up to us to prosecute the case very hard, to prosecute the case for affordable energy, for lower emissions, and we will work very constructively with our state teams
but they're going to be arguing a different policy.
The way that we are going.
They're going to be arguing a different policy. That's the trouble.
We will bring them around.
Yeah,
Well, we hope that we can bring them around because
yep.
just the facts will tell us alone, Chris, that we won't get to 2030, the emissions reduction target of 2030, we will not get anywhere near. We won't get to 2035. We are being told one big fat lie by this Prime Minister, and eventually those lies are coming to the fore. And so I'm really hopeful that we can work very closely with the states and the territories to deliver a common sense policy in the best interests of all Australians.
Sarah Henderson, thanks so much for joining us. The Liberal Senator for Victoria there, Sarah Henderson. That's what I wanted to get to. You can't have that policy conflict standing forever. They've got to be united on this. And as Sarah Henderson says, they want to talk the states around. Well, you watch the Labor governments now pick that up and say that they've got oppositions who are not serious about net zero. Now, if that's the case, as you know, my view on net zero is they should get rid of it as a commitment. But that's going to play out in state politics now as well. Mark my words.